Hi students, in these videos we're going to look more carefully at parallel vectors and unit vectors. And so unit vectors are part of 4.1, parallel vectors are 4.2. So let's think about two vectors being parallel, both in terms of the components and the angles in between the vectors. So if I have two parallel vectors, let's go ahead and draw parallel vectors. So I could say that these two vectors are parallel. So they're going to point in the same direction, or perhaps I'll have one that points this direction. So these vectors, I could say, are all being multiplied by a scalar. So they're all the same vector, but different lengths and perhaps opposite direction. So two vectors are parallel, so I could say that vector A is parallel to vector B if and only if A is a scalar multiple of B. If I think about what this means in terms of my dot product, I know that if these two vectors are parallel, the angle between them is either 0 or 180. So let's think about our dot product. A dot B is going to be equal to magnitude A, magnitude B, cosine of 0. Well, cosine of 0 is 1. So another way to test parallel is if the dot product is equal to the product of the magnitudes, or cosine of 180 would be the negative of that. So I have two ways of testing for parallel: if they're scalar multiples of each other, or if the dot product is equal to the product of the magnitudes or the negative product of the magnitudes. So let's add in cosine of 180, which then would make this be plus minus.